This is the Roulette Master, and I am so excited today to introduce to you the $400 a day roulette system by Tracy. He said he's been winning $400 a day with this for a long time, and now he's ready to share it with all of you, and that's really exciting. Also, it's really exciting today because the system we're going to put this up against is going to be a new improved version of the system sent in by Aaron B., the Milestone method. He says he has improved that one, and I already like it the way it was, but if it gets better, that's fantastic. We're going to start with that today in a head-to-head matchup against the new $400 a day roulette system. So we'll start with that new Milestone method first, and let's start by marking the last 6 numbers to hit like we normally do with the Milestone method, but this one's going to be different. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's mark our 6. Okay, there we go. And you can use whatever you want to use to mark them. I just used the 10s because you can see them easier. And then we're going to pull those off once we get our bets down. All right, here we go. This one is going to make money faster and still be safe. So Aaron B is really excited about this one. And we're going to peel those 10s off. Okay, and then that'll leave us everything but the last 6 numbers. And we'll have a $32 total bet to start. Let's go ahead and spin. And the first thing that's going to be different about this one is we're going to increase on wins, but only up to 2 times. And that's a loss there to start. Okay, and let's go ahead and we're going to double the bet because we lost. That was a repeater of that 13 right there. But let's go ahead and spin again. And if you lose one before you win twice, you only increase on 1. I'll explain that here in a second. So we won that one. We're going to double the bet on a win once we remove the one that just hit. So let's remove the 21. And then we're going to double. We will not double anymore on wins. Now, if we had not got a loss before those wins, then we would have been able to double up to twice on wins. But since we lost first, only once. Okay, so that's a win there of $20. We're at -4. Let's remove the 3. So let's do that. And we're at 120 total bet now. And with the Milestone method, even with this new improved version, just like the original, the more every time you win, it's going to be more than the previous spin. So let's go ahead and see what we won there. We're up 20. Let's remove the 25. And usually you'll be able to increase on those 2 wins before you have a loss. Usually you don't lose with almost all the numbers covered, but that's okay. You want to be prepared for everything, and that's a $28 win. We're up 48, and I'll explain to you why this is better and why Aaron B likes this so much. So let's go ahead and spin again at 112 total bet, and here we go. That's a 22 black. That's a win, and we're up 80. So let's remove the 22. And the cool thing about the both Milestone method versions is that that you have really high coverage even you have even after you pull bets off. And here we go again. Let's see what we get. That's a 2 black, but we lost. Okay, so we're going to double the bet from 108 to 216. And let's get a win here. The milestones are still going to be $100 milestones. And that's a 36 red. Okay, that's a $72 win. We're up 44. We're going to remove that 36. And spin at 208 total bet now. And I think one more will probably do the trick. That's a 10 black. And that's an $80 win. That more than did the trick. In fact, we went over $100, and now our next milestone will be 200. Every time you win, just like the original, we're going to start over and mark the last 6 that hit. But this one's going to win money a lot faster and still be safe. Okay, so we'll go over those rules again here and some other stuff that you're going to need to know with this one. Let's go ahead and we have the 22. Now let's put the 20, and then we have the 25. Okay, so now we'll put our dollar bets out on everything else. And remember, we're going to be able to double twice on wins unless we lose first. If we lose first, we'll only be able to double on wins once. So let's go ahead and mark these. And if you lose the first 2 spins, which pretty much never happens, you would not increase on any of the wins. So those are the base new rules for this one. But let's see, I'll show you how it works. And let's go ahead and spin at $32 total bet. Remember, we get to double up to twice on wins unless we lose first. Okay, there's a win. So normally we would not double here. We would just take the bet off. This time we're going to take the bet off and then we're going to double. And we can do that up to 2 times. Okay, we're up 128 trying to get to 200. We have a $31 total bet. I'm sorry, we should have doubled that one. Sorry, guys. That's a 17 black. Okay, we still have those 2 doubles, though, so let's go ahead and do it now. Let's remove that 17. And if you make a mistake, just keep on going. Now we're going to double and spin. And basically, this gets you to your milestones much faster, and it's still really safe because we have a big bankroll. And that's a $12 win there. We're up 145. We have one more double in the tank. We've only done it once, and we haven't had any losses yet. So we get to double one more time. And let's spin. And let's see what we get here. You can double up to twice unless you lose first. And that's a double zero. Okay, that's a $28 win. We do not double anymore. From this point on, we will only double on losses. And once we get to 200, we will reset. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and spin again here. Oh, we need to take that double zero off, though. I'm not sure if we took that off. Just a second. That's a 31 black. That's a $28 win. Let's check that out. Oh, we got to our goal anyway. So yeah, we should have taken that double zero off there, but it didn't matter. We would have won and got to our goal anyway. Let's restart. So we're going to now mark. I'm thinking about too many things at once here, but this is fantastic. I hope you're going to really try this out because it's working great. And 17, 9, and 10. Okay, we have our bets marked. And let's put the dollars on everything else here. And remember the rules now. You can double up to twice on wins unless you lose first. If you lose once, you can only double once on wins. If you lose twice, you can't double on any wins. But most of the time, you're not going to have any losses because look how many numbers are covered when you get your first win. So let's go ahead now and we'll remove those marker bets. And again, you can use whatever you want to mark those. So we're ready to go again. This is a $32 total bet. Our next milestone is $300. We're $99 away from it. Let's get there. Here we go. Okay, that's a $4 win there. So we get to double. So we're going to go ahead and double once we take that bet out. So we have the 29. We take that out. We double. Now we have one double left on wins. And let's go ahead and see what we get here. That's a 24 black. And that's a win. So we get to double one more time. But first we have to take out the one that won. So we got the 24. Let's go ahead and take that out. And then we'll double and spin. Now we're out of our doubles for wins. We've used our 2. We haven't lost any first. And that's a 27 red. Okay, so we don't double on wins anymore. And we're up $239 trying to get to 300. So now we leave the bet the same, but we do need to pull the 27 off. Okay, there we go. And now we're at 116 total bet. All right, here we go. That's a 36 red. Okay, that's a $28 win. We're up 267. We're just going to remove the 36. We've already used up our 2 doubles on wins. So we just remove that bet and spin again at 112 total bet. And remember, if you lose one first, you only have 1 left. And if you lose 2 before you win, you don't have any left on the doubles on wins. Okay, so we're up 299. We're not quite there yet, but we're really close. Let's remove the 11. Whoops, I did the wrong one there, guys. Sorry about that. So let me go ahead and check those real quick. So those have 4 on them. Let me put that back. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to take out that 11. I don't know what I was thinking there. There we go. And now you see that last one we won. Now we're at 108 total bet after we removed that. And that's a 1 red. That's a $36 win. We're up 335. That's a new goal. So we reset. So we're going to mark our next 6. And there's 3. And we have 27, 24, and 29 to mark. Okay, let's put our bets back out again. And this is working really well. I'm really glad that he kept working on this one because it was a great system to begin with. And now with this new version where you can increase twice if you don't have losses first, it's really making money a lot faster and still really safe because we have a lot of coverage. So we took our marker bets off. It's time to start again. Remember, we're trying to get to $400 now. We're not really that far away because we went over on that last one. Let's go ahead and spin. And remember, we have 2 doubles on wins unless we lose first. That's a 2 black. Okay, that's a win. So we take that off. We take the 2 off, and then we double. Now we have 1 double left on wins, and unless we lose first. All right, here we go. That's a 22 black. Okay, there's our second win. We double again once we remove the 22. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll double. Now our doubling on wins is over. From this point on, we will only double on losses. We used up our 2, and we didn't have any losses first. So that's a 00. Okay, we won. So now let's see where we're at. We're up 373. We'll remove the 00. Okay. Okay, we're at 116 total bet now, and you can see how much quicker we're getting to these milestones with Aaron B's new modification of his milestone method, and that's a 23 red. We won, and we achieved a new goal. Now we're at $401. Let's see if we can get it to 500, let's go ahead and mark the last 6 numbers again. We got 23, 00, 22, 2, 1, and 11. And then we're going to mark everything else with the $1. Oops, I made a mistake on that bet there, guys. So let's go ahead and let me make sure I have that right. We got the 22, the 2, the 1 is the one I messed up there. Let me put that out. And that's 5 of them, so we need to add the 11. Okay, there we go. Now let's put the rest of our bets out there. And then we'll remove those marker bets. Then we'll go through the rules one more time, and let's see if we can get one more milestone. Okay, here we go. Let's remove those 10s. Okay, we're at $42. Oh, there's something wrong. That's that shouldn't be right. We're at 401 total bet. That's right, but somehow the bets aren't adding up right. So we're gonna have to put those out again, guys. Sorry about that. We must have put $1 over a 10 or something. So we got the 23, the 00, and don't be afraid to start over if you think you made a mistake. Don't just go with it. Okay, let's mark those again real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. It should be around $32, not $41. I think we got a $10 bet underneath one of those. Okay, let's remove those 6. Well, I know that's right because we just did it. So let's go ahead and just spin. I think that the Roulette Royale is just not adding it up right for some reason. And that's a 17 black. Remember, we have two doubles on wins, and it's correct because it's paying the right amount. Let's take out the 17. So that was just a glitch in the system. That's see, now it's back to where it's supposed to be. So we'll go ahead and double. Remember, we have two doubles on wins unless we lose first. So let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 16 red. That's a $10 win. We're up 415. So we remove the 16 that just hit. And then we go ahead and double. This is our last double on wins. And spin. So now we've used up our 2. We don't double anymore on wins, only on losses from this point out, and that's a 21 red. Okay, that's a $24 win. We're up 439. So now when we get wins, all we do is we remove the one that won and spin again. And then once we reach our next milestone, once we get to 500, I think we'll be good with this one. This is doing fantastic. And then we'll get to that new system of the day. That's a $28 win. We're at 467. Let's remove the 30. And I can't wait to share with you the new $400 a day system coming up. We're at 467. Now we have a 112 total bet. And here we go. That's a 7 red. That's a $32 win. We're at 499. We're almost there. Let's remove the 7. Okay, now we're at 108 total bet. And the cool thing is, even when you peel the bets off, you're still super high coverage with this system. So you still get a lot of wins, even after you peel bets off, as you see right there. Now we're up $535. That is fantastic. I really like this, this adjustment by Aaron B. to the Milestone method. We made $535 very quickly with this system. And let's go over the rules one more time again. You have 2 wins that you can double on unless you lose first. If you lose first, you only have 1. You can only double on wins once. If you lose twice before you win, you can't double on any wins. So, but most of the time you're going to win 2 first because you have such high coverage. But I really love the Milestone method. I think this is a nice adjustment Aaron B has made to this. Now, though, it is time for the $400 a day roulette system. I can't wait to share this one with you. Let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the $400 a day roulette system by Tracy. He's been winning $400 a day with this for a long time, and now it's your guys' turn, and I'm going to show you how he's doing it. We're going to be betting on black and even for $25 each, and then we're going to have a $5 bet on the 0-0-0 split there, and that is part of this. Now we're going to add dollar bets on all the even red numbers. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think we've about got them all. And okay, let's check that. I don't think, oh, we have the 16 red. Let's add that in. Okay, there we go. That's a $63 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. I'll go over the rules for you on this one. And he said following the rules is really the key to winning every day with this one, $400. And we lost, and with total losses, he's going to double the bet. So we're going to go from 63 to 126, but he only does that one time. He will not double the bet more than once. And that's a 20 black. Okay, that's a $74 win. We're up $11. We reset back to 63, but when we're not in session profit, we're not going to reset. So I'll share with you what to do next. We're back to where we started at $63. We have $1 on all the even red numbers and 25 on the black and even each, and then 5 on the 0-0-0 split. Okay, on partial losses, he does not increase the bet. So he just keeps it the same and spends again. And again, he's making $400 every day with this system is what he claims. And that's an 18 red. That's a $23 win. We're up $21. Let's go. I'm sorry, we're still at base level. We just spent again. So here we go. That's a 30 red. That's a $23 win. Nice. We're up 44. Let's just rebet and spin again. We'll see if we can make our $400 profit like he says. And here we go. That's a 30 red. That should be a win. Okay, we're up $67. We'll rebet and spin. And again, he only doubles one time on total losses. That's a 16 red. That's a $23 win. We're up 90. Let's rebet and spin. Let's see if we can hit some black even numbers now. That would be fantastic. And just as I say that, we have an odd red number. But that's okay. We can't double anymore because we already used up our double. So what he does next is, as he goes up by 1 unit, but since we're at base level, going up 1 unit is doubling. So we can actually hit the double on this one, but only this one. After that, it would go up by what we started with. So hope that makes sense to you. Let's go ahead and spin. But basically, we're not doubling. We're going up what we started with. That's because we already used up our double. And that's a $74 win. We're up 101, and that means we can reset. So let's go back to where we started at 63. And again, that's $1 on every red even number, 5 on the 0 double 0, and 25 each on the even and black. And let's spin. Here we go. That's a 28 black. That's a nice $37 win. We're up 138. All right, we're still at base level. We're on our way to that $400 profit. Let's see if we get there. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's a loss, but a partial loss, so we do not ever increase on partial losses with this system. And here we go. That is a 0, and that has a bet on. That's a $27 win because we have that bet over on that. So we're up 152. We'll just stay here at base level, and it's nice when you win on the zeros, isn't it? Really good when you can hit zeros and win, and that's a 21 red. Okay, and remember, we can't double anymore. So we're going to go up 1 unit, but let's go ahead now. And actually, every time you reset, though, you can go back and double once again. So that I guess doubling and going up a unit's the same thing, though, on the first loss. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, so that's a $26 loss. That's a partial loss, so we don't do anything. We just rebet and spin. And here we go. So after you go, the first one, which is doubling or going up a unit, same thing, and that's a $46 win. We're up 109. Let's go ahead and reset back to 63. Then you would just go up by what each bet started with on losses. But once you reset, you would be able to double again 1 time. So hopefully that makes sense. We're up 146. Let's just rebet and spin. So each time you reset, you would get your 1 double again. That's a 28 black. And that's a $37 win. We're up 183. And let's just rebet and spin. And now that I think about it, though, you don't really get that doesn't really. It's always one going up with what you started because the first one is doubling the first time is going up 1 unit. So we're up 206. So basically, you're never doubling, even though the first one you can use the double button. He says double once, but you only get to do it once. But again, going up by what you started is doubling the first time. So, okay. But either way, that's doing fantastic. We're back at base level. We lost that one. So we do get to go up by what the bet started at and spin. But it does make it easier to hit the double button on that first one than have to add them individually. And that's a $74 win. We're up 217. Okay, and let's go back to 63 where we started. And remember, it starts back over each time you reset. We're going to try to get to $400 profit, and that's a 29 black. That's a partial loss. We do not increase on partial losses. So here we go. That's a 4 black. That's a $37 win. We're up 241. Nice. All right, here we go. And each time you get in a new session profit, you reset. And he's been winning $400 a day doing this for a long time, he says. Old Chip Tracy, and that's we're up 264. All right, let's spin again and see what we get here. That's a 26 black. Nice, $37 win. We're up 301. I might be using this one tonight at the casino if it continues like this. This is really cool. That's a 22 black. That should be another win. All right, we're up 338. And we're getting close to his $400 a day that he wins every single day. But we're going to keep going. If we get up 400, we're going to keep going until the 15 minutes is up because I want to see what happens when things go bad with this one because so far we haven't really seen any of that yet. And I do like how he's covering the way that he covers the even red numbers, and he's got the black even numbers. So we're up 398 already. Let's rebet and spin. And let's see what we get here with the $400 a day roulette system. That's a 20 black. And no matter what happens from here out, we did make $400 before where we could have cashed out with it. But we're going to keep going and see what happens if you do have any struggles with this one. That's an 8 black. And maybe it's going to just keep making money. We're at 472. Let's find out. All right, here we go. That's a good one. That's a 28 black. Okay, we're at 509 now. So let's keep it rolling, and we'll see if it eventually has any troubles here. That's a 7 red. That's a loss. Okay, and remember the first one you can double. So we'll do that and spin. After that, we just go up by what they started with. And that's a 00. Nice, that's a $54 win. We're at $500. Let's go back to 63. And spin. All right, that's a 10 black. I also like how the zeros are covered with this one. Now we're at 537. Let's rebet and spin. And this is fantastic so far. That's a 00. And again, the zeros are covered. It's a $27 win. We're at 564. And man, this is doing amazing. If this continues like this, I will definitely be using this one tonight at the casino. And that's another win. We're up 601. Fantastic. All right, that's an 18 red, and I like the simplicity of this. It's very simple. We're up 624 because really, even though he says double and then go up by what you started with after each loss, you're really just going up by what you started with after each loss, because doubling and doing that are the same thing on the first one. So we can go ahead and double there because we lost. And then we go up by what each bet started with each time we lose after this. That's a 22 black. It's a $74 win. We're up 635. We reset back to 63. We'll keep playing here and see if it has any hiccups here, because I'm really interested in this one now, seeing how well it's doing. I think we lost that one. And that's a partial loss, though. We do not increase. And anytime it's a partial loss, you just keep going, rebet the same thing. And that's a 26 black. That's a win. All right, we're up 659. And let's spin again. It doesn't seem to be having any problems, but we're going to keep testing this because we want to make sure if it's really this amazing, and it sure looks like it. We're not going to increase because that's a partial loss. I really love to test more and more these systems that continue to win, and we're up 669. And we haven't really had any major problems yet, but we're going to keep playing. Let's see what happens here. And that's a 30 red. That's another win. Wow, we're up 692. Fantastic. That's a 20 black. We're continuing to win. We're up 729. All right. Well, this is just fantastic. That's a 22 black. That's another win. We're up 766. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. That's another win. Wow. Okay, we're up 803. So now we've won $400 twice already. That is crazy. That is crazy good, that is. And that's a 26 black. It's another win. And we're up 840. All right, let's rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 19 red, and there's a loss. Okay, so we're going to double the bet just once. After that, again, if you lose, it goes up by what each bet started with. And that's a 33 black. That's a partial loss, so the bets stay the same. And let's spin again. We'll see if it gives us any trouble here. so far so good. It's been smooth sailing. That's a win right there on 0. It's a $54 win. We're up 805. Let's drop back to 63. All right, I love how the zeros are covered because a lot of times systems get wrecked by hitting zeros. This one, you win when you hit the zeros, which is really nice. That's a $23 win. We're up 828. All right, let's rebet and spin. Chip Tracy is on the ball today. This is fantastic. And that's an 11 black. That's a partial loss, so we don't do anything. We're up 815, and we just rebet and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 23 red. That's a loss. Okay, so we're going to double the bet just once and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 28 black. There it is. Now we're up 826. We drop back to 63. And remember, we haven't even had to hardly do it, but if you lose after that, you just go up by what each bet starts with, which would be the 25s, the 5, and then the singles. And that's a partial loss. And I like how, too, the partial losses don't increase the bet, so it keeps your bankroll safe. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, but you can play for less if you want. But obviously, the more bankroll you have, the better chance you have of winning. We're up $836. We've already made the $400 twice, and this is awesome. That's a 17 black. That's a partial loss. So we'll just rebet. We're up 823, and these partial losses don't really hurt you that bad. And here we go. That's an 11 black. That's another partial loss. But I like how the bets don't increase on those, because if you have a bunch of those in a row, it's just going to slightly set you back. It's not going to tear your wins apart. And we're finally getting a bunch of losses in a row. That's what I kind of wanted to see. And remember, we have our one double. Let's get that out of the way. And then after this, we would increase by what they started with. And let's see if it really tests us here. It's starting to lose now. So, okay. So now we are going to increase by what each one started with. So 25, 25. Then we add a 5 to the 000. And then we add $1 to all these ones. Okay, and we're at 189 total bet now. Let's see if we can get a win here. That's a 23 red. We lost. Okay, and let's go ahead and add that again. So we'll add 25, 25, and then 5, and then 1, 1, 1, 1 to each of those. And now we're at 252 total bet. We have plenty of bankroll, though. We're good. We just have to be patient now. And, okay, we're having multiple losses in a row now. In fact, we've lost, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've lost 6 in a row. So we'll add our 25, our 25, our 5, and then our 1s. That's a lot to lose in a row, but I'm glad it's finally testing us. Let's see what happens. We have the bankroll to be patient. Oh my goodness. How many in a row is that now? And those are total losses. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've lost 7 in a row. Okay, let's see if this recovers. This is the first time we've been down. Okay, 25, 25, 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, let's see what we get here. And we'll see how many times in a row we lose. That's a huge losing streak. We finally got a win with a 2 black. So if you get a win and you're not in session profit, all you do is you just leave the bets the same and spin again. So here we go. Okay, there's another win on 8 black. Okay, now we're up 309. We just leave the bets the same and spin again. And he said anytime you want, though, if you're up, you can cash out. You don't have to try to get back to where you were before, and that's a partial loss. You don't increase the bets on partial losses. So we just rebet and spin. That's a 34 red. That's a win. Okay, and our 15 minutes is up. We were up, almost $900. We're up $369 now. Let's get it back to 400. Just let's stay right here and get us up to 400 again at least. We'll go over the 15 minutes a little bit and see if we can do that. There we go. Now we're back over 400. But we went, in fact, we're up $591 now. So then you would reset back to 63 where we started. But we won 800 before we had any losses. Then we dropped back down. Now we're up $591. But I really like this system. It works really well. Obviously, if you get a lot of red odd numbers in a row, it might take you a little bit to get back. But I like how it doesn't increase the bets on the partial losses. That helps you keep your bankroll intact. And hope you really enjoyed that one. And I know I'm going to test this out in the casino as well. This one looks really good. And I hope you like the modification of the first one today. It did fantastic as well. Yeah, that's awesome. And if you want to send a system in, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And that would be fantastic. Now we have a new video that, well, it's not a new video, but a video that is going viral on YouTube that a lot of people are really enjoying. And we're going to go ahead and play that for you here next if you want to stick around. Hope you enjoyed it today. And here we go. Thanks for sticking around. I think you're going to absolutely love this one. This is Proven Way to Win $1,000 with $5 units. And this is currently going viral on YouTube. And hope you enjoy it. Here we go. This is the Roulette Master, and I'm so excited today to share with you the incredible new Quattro roulette system by one of my subscribers, Chris. He said this is unbelievable, and he said he wants his system to go up against Kentucky White's moving corners. So we're going to start with that first today, and then I'm going to share with you his new system, the Quattro, and he says, again, you will absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the top two on the left and the corners. Let's go ahead and spin. That's 8 numbers to start, and here we go. That's 2 corner bets. That's a 33 black, and we lost that one. So with Kentucky White's moving corners, you just add another corner and spin. We don't double the bets yet or do anything like that. We just add another $5 unit. That's a 27 red, and that's a loss. So we're going to now, for the first time, double the bet, but first we're going to add one more corner. So now we have a $40 bet, and then we have 16 numbers covered. Here we go. That's a 16 red. And we lost that one. So what we do next is, if we lose with 4 corners, we put $10 on a 5th corner, and then we double the bet again. Now we have a $100 total bet, and here we go. That's a 3 red. Okay, we got a win, and that's an $80 win. You can see we're up $15. Let's start bottom left this time, and we're going to keep moving these corners around, but you start with 2 corners, and here we go again. That's a 31 black, and that's a loss, so we add one more corner here. And this is a fantastic roulette system that a lot of my friends use as well in the casino, and absolutely love this one. And that's a 35 black. We lost again. So we add a 4th corner and double now. Let's go ahead and do that. So now we have a $40 total bet out there. And again, this is Kentucky White's moving corners. And the new one for the day, the Quattro by Chris, will be coming up. And we lost on 4 corners again. Usually you hit on that one, but we're going to go to number 5 again. We're going to put $10 on that so that they all have $10 bets. And then we're going to double them to $100. And the cool thing about this system is that the more you lose, the more numbers are covered. So you have a much better chance of winning the more you add the numbers. And you can see right there, we got another win. Now we're up $30. And if you win earlier, and we'll start bottom right this time, if you win earlier in the progression, you're going to make even more money. So let's see if we can get a few earlier wins this time. That's a 29 black. And that's what I'm talking about right there. We got a $35 win on a $10 bet. 2 $5 bets there, and we're up 65 now. So let's pick 2 random corners again and spin. It can be anywhere you want them to be as long as they're moving around. And that's a 2 black. That's another great hit. Another $35 win with a $10 bet. So we're up 100 now. Let's go bottom left, bottom right. And spin. And again, here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's a loss. Let's add a third corner. And again, when we add the third corner, we do not double. We just go ahead and spin. And here we go. Now we have 12 numbers covered. That's a 24 black. We lost. That was pretty close, though. We're going to add our fourth corner now and double. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I didn't double that one. Sorry, guys. I need to do that on this next one. That's a 15 black. Okay, we should have doubled that one, but we're going to add our fifth corner now. And then we're going to double that. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 17 black. Okay, and that's a $30 win. We're up 85. So let's go ahead now and do bottom left, top right. And if you make a mistake like not doubling, just get back on board and jump right back in there, and don't worry too much about it. Just get back into the process again. That's a $35 win. We're up 120 now. Let's go with a couple of different ones this time. And let's go ahead and spin any corners you want as long as they're moving around. And here we go. That's a 4 black. That's a nice win. Another one, we're up 155. It's great when you can hit them on the early bets like that, when only 8 numbers are covered, or even 12. And those really make a difference if you can hit a few of those. That's a 29 black. And that was close there too, but we didn't get it. Again, on the one with the third corner, we're not going to double. We're just going to add one. But when we add our fourth, we need to double. That's a 1 red, and that is a loss. So let's add another corner, and then we'll double. Okay, now we'll be at $40, 10 on each on 4 corners. That's 16 total numbers covered there, and that's a 17 black. That's a good one, $50 win. We're up 180. Let's pick 2 more corners. Here we go, and spin. All right, we're 5 minutes in out of 15 with moving corners by Kentucky White. The new system by Chris coming up, the Quattro, and can't wait to share that with you. Let's go ahead now and add a third corner in. And spin, $15 total bet now, 5 on each of the 3 corners. And here we go. And 12 numbers covered on this one. That's a nice win there, and we're up 200 now. Anytime you get a win on 12 numbers or 8 numbers, it's unbelievable. And it really helps you with your profit. If you're patient, you'll get some of those. And here we go. That's a 20 black. That was close, but we didn't get it. Let's add a third corner. And spin. We have $15 now. $5 on each of 3 corners. And that's a 29 black. That's a loss, and let's add a 4th corner now. And spin. Oh, sorry guys, I should have doubled again. I missed that again. That's a 23 red. And we got the win, but we should have won more than that. So, well, we're up 200. Let's just not let that bother us. Let's just go ahead and restart. If you lose $5 or $10 there, if you make a mistake, just jump right back on board again. That's a 34 red. And that's a loss. Let's add the 3rd one now. And actually, let's add it over here. All right, now let's go ahead and spin. And let's see what we get here. Ooh, I shouldn't have moved that one. That was a 17, and we would have won that if I hadn't moved it. But that's okay. You never know. Let's add the 4th corner in now and double this time like I should have done last time. And here we go. That's a 32 red. There's a nice win. We're up 225 now. Let's pick 2 more corners and spin. And one of my friends, Slotmaster316, who plays slots, loves this system. And anytime he plays roulette, he uses this one and tells everybody that he plays with how good it is. And it is a fantastic system. So let's add 1 more here. And we don't double them until we get 4. That's an 8 black. And that's a loss. Let's go ahead and add the 4th one now. And then we're going to double and spin. And here we go. That's a 31 black. We just missed that one, so let's go ahead and add our 5th one now. We'll put 10 on there, and let's do this one right here and double. That gets us to $100 total bet. And I need to show you here in a minute what happens if you lose on this one, what you do next. And but we got the win there, so we'll get there soon enough. We're up 240. And but yeah, you need to know what to do if you lose with the 5 double or with the 5 corners. And here we go. That's a 19 red, and that's another loss. Let's add a third one. Let's add it right there and spin. And let's see if we can get a win here with 12 numbers. A 0 is not going to do it, so let's go ahead and add the 4th and double. So we just added the 4th and doubled from 20 to 40. And now we have $10 on each of these 4 corners. That's a 25 red. And we lost. So now we're back to that 5 corners. We're going to add 2 to that one and double. So we're back at that $100 bet. You do have a really good chance of winning this one because you have more numbers covered. And that's a 20 black. You can see we got the win. So we're up 255, but make sure you stick around to see what happens if you lose on the 5th corner here. And let's start with 2 on the bottom right this time. You need to know that. Also the bankrolls with these. And this is a $2,000 bankroll system or a $400 bankroll system with dollar units. That's a nice win there. We're up $290. It's amazing how many times I've tested this one out and how many times it's won. Let's see what we get here. That's a 3 red. Okay, that's a loss. Let's go ahead and add a third one in. Again, we don't double till we get to 4. And if you make a mistake and forget to double, just jump back on board. That's a 4 black. And we're going to add the 4th and double now. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we have a $40 total bet on 4 corners, 10 each. And that's an 18 red. Another win. We'll take it. $50 win. We're up 315. Okay, let's add 2 and start. And let's see if we can get a win here. We're 10 minutes in now out of 15 with moving corners from Kentucky White, and that's a 19 red. We lost. That was very close, though. Let's add another one in and spin. And once we get to 4, we will double. That's a 14 red. Ooh, that was really close as well. And let's add a 4th one in now. And then double. Now we have a $40 bet out there. And let's see what we get here. That's a 27 red. We lost again. So you might see what happens when you lose on 5 this time around. We're going to add in a 5th at 10 and then double that to 100. And we have 5 bets out there and then $20 on each. That's a 35 black. You can see that the more corners you have, the better chance you have of winning. We're up 330 now, and let's go ahead and put 2 more out there and spin. And here we go. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, a 0. We don't like that, but that's okay. Let's add in the 3rd one. Okay, now we have 3 corners. And here we go. Let's see what we get on this one. 12 numbers covered here. That's a 20 black. That's a nice win, and we're up 350 now. So if you can hit with 12 numbers or with 8 numbers, it would be even better. You can really rack up the wins. But if you're patient, you'll hit some of those. And let's add a 3rd one in now. And spin. Get a little coverage there on the right side in case one gets over there. And that's a 30 red. Ooh, we just missed that one. Let's add the 4th in and double. So now we're back at that $40 bet, 10 on each. And about 3 minutes left. Here we go. That's a 29 black. That's a nice win. So we're up 375. We still haven't got to lose on the 5th corner yet, but I'm sure it'll happen before the end of the session. That's why I always test these as long as possible. And let's see what happens here. That's a 28 black. That's a loss, so let's go ahead and add 1 more in. And then spin. Now we're at a $15 bet and 5 on 3 corners. That's a 19 red. Okay, we didn't win. We're going to go to 4 now. And then we're going to double. Okay, now we have 16 numbers covered. That's a 10 black. All right, $50 win. We're at $400. So absolutely love this. And if we don't get to where we lose on the 5th corner, I'll tell you what to do from there. And then we'll move on to the new system of the day. And that's from Chris. And can't wait to share with you the Quattro. And let's go ahead now and add another one in. And spin. Here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a nice win. We're up 420 now. Okay, let's go ahead and spin again here and see what we get. See if we can get a high number here. That one's right in the middle. That's okay though. We'll add one more in here. Okay, and let's add one right here. And spin $5 each on 3 corners. $15 total. And we missed that one with the 1. It's over on the bottom left. So let's add in the 4th. Okay, and then we're going to double that bet.
No more bet.
Now we have a $40 bet out there, and 1 minute left with moving corners by Kentucky White. That's a 6 black. That's a nice win. We're at 445, just continuing to make profit. And let's go ahead and spin again. 8 numbers covered when we start. $10 total bet. That's a 22 black. Ooh, that was really close. We almost got that one. Let's add a 3rd in and spin. And here we go. That's a 9 red. And that's another win. So we're at $465. And since we're getting close to the end here, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you what happens if you lose with 5 corners on this one. If you lose with 5 corners, which would be 20 numbers, you just continue to double until you get a win. That's why you have the $2,000 bankroll. We're at $500 and time just expired. So again, you start with 2, that's 8 numbers. Then you go to 3, which is 12 numbers. And then if you lose that, you go to 4, which is 16 numbers, double the bet. And if you lose that, then you go to 5, which is 20 numbers, double the bet. And if you lose again, you keep the numbers the same, but continue to double until you get the win. That's a $2,000 bankroll for $5 units, a $400 bankroll if you want to use this with dollar units. And now, though, I'm going to share with you the new roulette system of the day from Chris. This is called the Quattro, and I can't wait to share this with you. Let's jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Quattro by Chris. Let's place the bets. And we're going to start by putting a $5 bet on the 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to add 3 more corners. Just like that. That's a $20 starting bet. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 3 red. That's a nice $25 win to start. We're up $25. So we always have the 0, 1, 2, 3 in this, and then we pick 3 more. So let's pick 3 other ones that don't overlap. And let's go ahead and spin. We have a $20 total bet out there again. And here we go. That's a 16 red. Okay, we lost that one, so we're going to add a 4th corner. And then we're going to go ahead and now you can see these ones here, they all have 5. We're going to double them all. Okay, so it goes from 25 to 50. There's 5 of these bets out there at $5 each. Then they go to 10. That's a 36 red, and we lost. So now we're just going to go ahead and double the bet. Now we're at $100 total, and let's spin. That's a 7 red. We lost again. So now we're going to double that bet again to 200. This is why it's also a $2,000 bankroll system, just like the previous one. You can also do it with 400 in dollar units, just like the previous one. And there's a nice win at 160. We're up $15. So again, we always start with 1 bet there. Now let's add 3 more corners in. Oh, I'm sorry, it can't overlap. Let me fix that. There we go. Let's go ahead and spin. Keep the corners moving. And Chris says that the great thing about this is when you don't start with just 8 numbers, you have a much better chance of getting the first spin. And let's go ahead and add 1 more of these in and double. Okay, now we have 4 corners, and then the bet on the 0, 1, 2, 3. That's a 26 black. And there's a nice $40 win. So we're up $35 now. And again, we'll place the one that stays the same. And then let's pick 3 different ones and spin. And here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a nice $25 win. We're up 60 now. So again, this one's a constant. Let's add 3 more.
No more bet.
All right, let's go ahead and spin. So you're starting with 16 numbers instead of 8, like with this first system. That's a nice $25 win, and we're up 85. And again, Chris says that you have a much better chance of hitting the first one if you have the 16 numbers instead of 8. Let's go ahead and start again here. And he likes the 0, 1, 2, 3 because it protects him when you get a streak of zeros or low numbers. And that's another nice win. We're up 110. And this one's the constant. And then we add in 3 random corners. So let's go ahead and spin again here. And here we go. That's a 12 red. That's a close one, but we lost. So let's add in 1 more and double.
No more bet.
Okay, now we have a $50 bet out there. That's a 21 red. And that's a nice win. So we're up 130 now. This one's the constant, and let's add in 3 more random ones. But they need to be corners, and here we go. Keep them moving around just like Kentucky Wide does, but start with more numbers and use the 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a nice $25 win. We're up 155. Let's add in some more. We're going to add 3 corners each time we start. And then that along with the 1, 2, 3, and 0 is your 16 numbers to start with. And that's a 30 red. All right, we got another win, and we're up 180. Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. Still at base level here, and let's see what we get. That's a 23 red. Another nice win. You do get a lot of wins at 16 numbers compared to 8. We're up 205. But sometimes you can go a little while without hitting 16 numbers as well, which is why we have the rest of this progression, which gives us many more chances to hit one of those numbers, and it increases those numbers each time that you lose. So let's add another one in and double. So now we're at 50, and all of a sudden now we have 20 numbers. That's a 19 red. Okay, that's a loss, so we're going to go ahead and double that bet again and spin at 20 numbers here. That's a 12 red. There's a nice win. We're up 215. So again, this one's the constant. We're going to add in 3 random ones and spin. That gets us 16 numbers to start. All right, we hit the 0. So it's a good thing with this system. There's a $25 win. It's nice when you win with the zeros. We're up 240. And it's very, very rarely do you get to welcome zeros. So Chris made that possible for us today. And so far it's doing fantastic. That's a 30 red. That's a nice win. We're up 265. Again, 3 random ones. And spin. Here's our 16 numbers, including the 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's a 17 black. Another nice win. We're at 290. Okay, and again, this is a $2,000 bankroll system.
No more bet.
But you can play this with $400 with dollar units. And that's a 14 red. Another good win. We're up 315. Getting lots of good wins on the 16 numbers here, which is nice. And don't miss the first one like with some of the systems where you consistently miss the first hit. And I guess it's okay though if you only have 8 numbers, but this seems to be having a lot less losses because of it. But still, both systems are fantastic. And Kentucky Whites did amazing again today. We're going to double the bet now after we added that 1 more corner in. That's a 6 black. and we lost. So now we're going to go ahead and just double from 50 to 100.
No more
We
bets.
still have our 20 numbers covered, which is a little better than 18, which is, usually what half of the bets are if you bet on red or black. And we got the win. We're up 325. So every little bit helps. And even if it's just adding 2 more numbers to the 18 that you normally have with outside bets, every little bit helps. And that's a 25 red. That's a loss. So we'll add 1 more in here. And double to 50.
No more bets.
Again, this is the $2,000 bankroll, but you can do it with dollar units and a $400 bankroll. That's a 26 black, and that's a loss. So again, once you get to this level, you just double the bet if you lose.
No more bets.
And with 20 numbers covered, you should get that before you lose your bankroll. And that's a 31 black, and there's another win. So we're up 335. Let's start with the constant again, which is the 0, 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and spin again here and see how much more money we can make in this 15 minutes. That's a 3 red. All right, that's always good when you hit the 0, 1, 2, 3. We're up 360. And here we go.
No more bets.
Let's go ahead and spin again. This is doing fantastic. The Quattro by Chris, and that's a 11 black. Another win. We're up 385. We'll add 3 more in again.
No more
And
bets.
spin. Here we go. That's a 16 red. Ooh, that was close, but we didn't get it, so we'll add 1 more in. All right, we'll add it in right here and double to 50.
No more bets.
So now all of a sudden we have 20 numbers covered again. That's a 25 red. Ooh, we missed it. So let's go ahead and double from 50 to 100, still with 20 numbers. And here we go. That's a 5 red. We missed again. So let's go ahead and double again. Now we'll have 200, still have 20 numbers covered. Again, a $2,000 bankroll. That's a 12 red. All right, that's a 160 win. We're up 375. Fantastic. So here we go.
No more
And
bets.
let's spin again here. And I like to bet on the 17, 20 a lot, if you probably noticed. Those seem to be lucky numbers for me at least. And we lost that one there. Well, let's go ahead and add 1 more corner in. And double from 25 to 50. And here we go. 20 numbers covered. 28 black. We lost, so we're going to go ahead and double again from 50 to 100 and spin. And let's see if we can get the win here. That's an 11 black. We lost again. This is why we have the $2,000 bankroll for $5 units, or the $400 bankroll for dollar units. Gives us a chance to recover. We got real close to the 0 there, which would have been fantastic, but we won anyway. So that's awesome. We're up 365. And here we go. Let's add that 3rd corner in right there and spin. And here we go. And that's a 14 red. Nice win there. We're up 390. It's nice when you get them on the 16 numbers. And there we go. Let's go ahead and spin again. We're 11 minutes in now out of 15 with the Quattro by Chris. And that's a 14 red. Again, really nice when you get them on the 16 numbers because you win 25. We're up 415. And that makes up for any small losses that you'd get when you're doing 20 numbers and doing the double. The 16 makes up for that with wins there. And that's a 22 black. That is a loss. So we'll add 1 more corner and double and spin. This is a $50 total bet. All right, here we go. That's a 17 black. I told you that's one of my lucky numbers, the 17 and the 20. So that's a nice win there. We're up 435. All right, here we go. We'll go every other one there and spin. And let's see what we get here. Ooh, it almost hit the 0 again. That's a 32 red. And we just missed that one. Let's add another one in and double. Okay,
No more bet.
here we go. Let's see if we can get a win here. 20 numbers covered. That's a 24 black. And that's a loss. So we're going to go ahead and double that bet
No
from
more bet.
50 to 100. And I bet we get it here. Let's see. That's a 1 red. You know you're always going to get the 1, 2, 3, and the 0, which is nice. We're at 445. So if you get a really low number, you're always going to win. And even if it's a 0. So let's go ahead and spin again here, which you can't normally say that with most systems. Usually a 0 is about the worst thing that can happen to you, but not with this one. Not with the Quattro by Chris. And that's a win. We're at 470. So this system's been kicking some serious butt today. And here we go. And let's do these 3 right here and spin. So we start out with 16, then we go to 20, and then we double until we get the win. And we lost that one there. Let's go ahead now and add one more in. And you don't want them to overlap though. Let's go ahead and double and spin. We're at $50 total bet now. Okay, that's a 10 black. Ooh, we just missed that one. Let's go ahead and just double the bet from 50 to 100.
No more bet.
And let's try to hit one of those 20 numbers. That's a 27 red. All right, good win there of $80. We're at 480. We're getting close to $500 in profit already. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and spin again. All right, this is doing incredible. That's a 9 red. That should be a good one. That is. That's a $25 win. We're at 505. So we just got over that $500 mark, which is really nice. And let's add one more here. There we go. And we have 1 minute left with this one. This is the Quattro by Chris, and it's doing absolutely incredible. There's that 17 black, and I told you that's one of my lucky numbers. We're at 530, and let's go ahead and put the bets back out again. Each time we're moving them around. Oops, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and spin. And this one's just been doing incredible today so far. That's a 9 red. Another win. All right, so we're at 555. And we have enough time for one more spin. Okay, let's go ahead and spin here. That's a 19 red. And we lost that one. Actually, we have enough time for one more spin here, it looks like. And we're going to add one more and double.
No more bet.
Now we have that $50 bet, and this will be our last spin. We're right at the 15-minute mark. That's a 23 red. And we got it. So we ended up $575 in profit with the Quattro by Chris. Thank you, Chris, for sending this in. I think you were definitely inspired by the system that we did first, by Kentucky White's Moving Corners. But I really like what you did with this one, and it's really nice to have a system that benefits with hits on the zeros as well. And I think that's fantastic. And man, we just cruised right through that one. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, or email me at roulettemaster.c@gmail.com and let me know what you think. As always, if you're enjoying the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing this great community of people that love roulette in the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And again, thank you, Chris, for sending this one in. Thank you, Kentucky White, for the moving corners. They both did incredible today. And remember, if you want to send a system in like they're doing, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. I pick a new one every single day of the week, 365 days of the year. And I love it. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Again, if you are enjoying it, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll keep growing this great community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everybody.